All right, we are recording. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're catching the recording, this is our new coach mentorship, growing your social media. I'm just going to be sharing some ways to grow your account quickly. I know that a lot of times we hear about people oh, probably should mute myself. Let's start over. um, I, I, did you not hear any of that? Okay. It's because I keep muting everybody that's not me. And Jamie, I'm not Jamie. So that's why I keep muting her. All right, let's start over. So new coach mentorship on growing your social media. And we're going to talk about growing it organically because a lot of times when we're first starting out, we don't have the resources to pay anybody to be doing that on the side. And a lot of times now, a lot of the outside sources, Instagram is really cracking down on. And so I'm just going to give you a few tips and tricks and kind of tell you what helped me grow mine before. And there's just a few things at first that obviously are going to be some more obvious things, and that's to show up every day. Facebook and Instagram have an algorithm, and if you're showing up regularly, your stuff is going to be getting in the feed. When you take days off, you get pushed down the algorithm because you're not getting that interaction from anybody. You're not getting that engagement. And so they're saying your stuff isn't important. So I want to encourage you to be showing up every day. Make sure, you're going to be working out and you're going to be following your meal plan or reading your personal development. Share something about that. Share a recipe that you like. Share something that stuck out to you in your personal development. Share your workout that you did it. That is something that you can share every single day, even if you're like, I have nothing witty to say. You can share what you did today. But it's super important. What I have found is been most beneficial is when I ask a question or I do something funny or something that's some quote that really stood out to me, and say, tag your friend who might need to hear this. And so just getting interaction that way, but either starting with a question or ending with a question, but making sure that you're asking them to do something. And that way you are getting those likes, you're getting that, you're getting up on the interaction, which says Facebook, you're popular, you get to be seen by everybody. But in that, you need to be sharing your journey and letting them get to know you. Obviously, these first two are just kind of like in general. People are going to choose to follow you by what you're sharing. And if you're not showing up every day and you are doing the things that I'm going to be telling you in a minute, you're doing all the other things, but you're not showing up and you're not sharing your life, they're not going to choose to follow you back. Because if you're not adding value to their life, then they can go find somebody else who is. And so I really want to encourage, like, be authentic, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. And so I've had to unfollow a lot of other coaches because I was trying to be them. And you want to be you because your niche is going to be different. I have a special niche where I am only a boy mom, adoption, foster care, football wife. Those things are me, but they're not Leanne. She is somebody completely different. And so just knowing who you are, and being that person. So number 3 is going to be where we're really going to start growing our social media. And that is going to be adding to your following every single day. And you're like, how in the world do I do that? So on Facebook, they do have, you can get put in Facebook jail. I didn't think that it was absolutely possible. I've just heard about Facebook jail all the time, but it is true. I've had coaches who get put in jail. And that means you can't send a message, you can't post, you can't do anything on Facebook. And that's when you're adding too many friends in one day. And so where I have found the happy medium is no more than 20 people a day. Now, I usually shoot for about 10 because that feels doable. It feels like I can keep up with those people, but don't go more than 20. I've tested it out and seen how many I can get without. And after 20, I get really scared. And so I've heard from others who did 25 and they got out. So I want to make sure that you don't do more than 20. And you can find those people in Facebook groups. the yard sales, or Facebook always is like, hey, do you know them? You may have mutual friends. I go through and be like, okay, my sister's friends, my mom's friends, my mother-in-law's friends, like you have people that you are connected to, and you can go in and add. And I mean, Facebook has that, you might know them. Now, make sure you're paying attention. A lot of times I'll see and they're like, oh, it's Beachbody Coach. I don't want to add any more Beachbody Coaches. I don't need them following me. I mean, if they want to, fine, but I don't want to be wasting my time reaching out to them and liking their posts. So I'm going to add 10 people on Facebook every single day. And that takes like a minute. Like, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing that, but just spend a little bit of time adding those 10 people every single day. And it was funny because I was just having this conversation with my sister the other day, last week on our birthday. And I was like, I was trying to keep up with all the responses to those birthday messages that are posted on your page. I said, but by 6 a.m. it had gotten a little bit ridiculous. And then when I checked again, it was like 250. And I'm super overwhelmed by messaging 250 people back. And she was like, 250 people? Well, I guess if you have 700 friends, then you would have that many. And I was like, no, I have 3,700 friends. And she was like, oh my goodness. I go, this is my business and this is serious. When I started 4 years ago, I had 300 friends. So 10 people a day adds up over time. And those people are seeing my posts. I had somebody reach out to me today and was like, because I posted a recipe, or I showed that in my stories that I made muffins for my boys. I'm trying new breakfast things because I'm tired of cereal and all the sugar and all of that. So I'm trying something new. And they reached out to me and they're like, I've been following you for a while. I would really like to talk to you. And so like, they're watching you, and I don't know this person, but are we friends? Yep. And so, I mean, I have all the time. How do you know that person? Facebook. But they're watching me because I'm showing up every single day and I'm sharing my life. So it adds up, and you're like, you have 3,700, holy cow, but 10 a single every day, as much as I possibly can, 10 a day, it really does add up. Now, everybody doesn't always accept, and so that's why I keep saying, do the 10 a day. And then what I do, I have this little system that goes on, and I use Teamsy to track my stuff. You don't have to use Teamsy. That's what's worked for me. You do have to pay for it, but there's like a bunch of other free ones that you can use. But Teamsy like tells me when these are going on. So once I accept my friend request, I go on and I like 2 posts. I don't like more than 2 posts, because when I see somebody who's liked 5 posts, I'm like, you're creepy. And so I don't want them to think that about me. So I'll like the first 2. And then I put a notification or reminder to get back to them in a week. A week later, I go comment on a couple posts. I might ask a question. I interact with them. Another week later, I'm going to do it again. And by the time I have ready to invite them, we've already had 4 or 5 interactions. They're seeing me liking my stuff. They're now seeing my posts. When you like people's posts and you comment on their posts, they start seeing your stuff too. Or they'll be like, they liked my post, I'm going to go check them out. And they go start scrolling through your feed. So it's super important to be interacting that way. And you can do this still on Instagram as well, but I'm talking about Facebook right now. And so for that, I just have them. And so after I have 3 or 4 interactions, then I can invite them to the group. But I don't obviously right away, but that gives me a month of them seeing me showing up, seeing me post, seeing me, oh, I might follow her. And that's why I like showing up every single day. They see that if you don't know that you're not a Beachbody coach, that you are in health and fitness in your first 5 posts on your feed, then something is wrong. They need to either know about a business opportunity, about you working out, about some kind of meal plan, at least in the first 5 posts. Because if they don't know that about you, then, I mean, why? That's what you want to kind of attention grab them. So that is what I do to grow my Facebook following. I find those 10 people. I'm in several groups on Facebook, and I'm an admin on a Boy Mom group. And so I've gotten involved in those things. You can find a couple groups that are about you. And so it really does help. You can meet people through there, interact with 10 people in that group, but just making sure each and every day you're spending a few minutes and you're liking and you're commenting on those, because that is going to grow your social media. All right, so I'm going to go on to Instagram because that's where a lot of this ends up being, and mine's been growing much faster because Facebook's pretty simple. Add friends, be you. Done. So on Instagram, I now pay somebody to do it, but for the first 4 years, 3.5 years, I was doing it myself every single day. And what I was doing is you need to pick 5 things that are you. And I say that because you're going to be searching those hashtags and you're going to be finding those people. Now, for me, I will look up boy mom. I will look up adoption journey, foster care mom. I even look up like football wife, math teacher, just these things that have been me, twin sister, just figuring out like what is you. And when you go into Instagram and you go to the search button, you will type in one of these hashtags. You can keep it simple, boy mom, and then they're going to give you 5 or 6 other ones that relate to it. And it's awesome because you don't have to pick the top one. You could pick another one in there. And then I just scroll through, and I am going to be following about 50 an hour. And so I don't do this every hour, but I'm saying like no more than 50 an hour. So I will set an alarm on my phone when I'm working, and I will do that, and then I'll set a timer, and then an hour later I'll do it again, because I usually work in like, if you need to do your hour chunk, do it at the beginning and then when you're done, because then you can just do 100 follows in that 1 hour power hour. And I'm going to accounts that I relate to. I'm going and finding not fitness accounts. I do a lot of like teacher accounts because that's kind of my people. And so I have a couple of teacher accounts that I go to, and I will go to their most recent post, and I will look at their likes and then their comments, and those are their engaged followers. You want engaged followers. It's no point in having like somebody who hasn't checked their social media in a year. And so I will go and hit the follow button for the first 50 people. You can be more picky and actually go in and look at everybody's profile. That is fine. It just might take you a little bit longer. And then I will go into their, like, I'll pick 10 of them, and I'll go in if they're public, and I'll like pictures, comment or ask a question. And again, I think we were taught like the 5-3-1 method, where you like 5, comment 3, and message. That to me is too much. Like I said, if someone's liking so many pictures in a row, I feel like, what do you want? So I'll go in and like a couple pictures and ask a question about one of them. I'm not messaging them, but I am interacting with them. And so I think that when they see that, then they can follow you back, or they'll go check you out. But finding those things. And the reason I say not fitness related is because you don't want to find that Beachbody coach. Now, like, I might go in, like Kayla Itzines is a big fitness person. I'll go in and look at one of her posts, and her followers are going to be your people who want boot camps. They might not be the people that you want for coaches, but they might be people who are like, because she doesn't have that accountability like that you are offering. And so you just want to pick 5 things and search those hashtags. And then the sites or the apps that are super helpful and are free on Android is Follower Insight. I love that one because you can see who's followed you back and who has not followed you back. And they even give you a warning. Like when I go in and like unfollow, I was doing it just on Sundays because I wanted to give people time to follow me, because you don't want to unfollow them right away. So I wanted to give them time to follow me. And so I think it was Wednesdays and Sundays, and I go in and unfollow 50 people. And once you get to amount, it'll say you've reached 50 people that you've unfollowed. This may like be a warning sign or something, like for Instagram. And so I know I've hit that amount. I don't have to count in my head. They're going to warn me that I've unfollowed that amount of people. I can take a break and come back in an hour. Does that make sense? It's like super easy. And I hear that Captivate and Cleaner are awesome for iPhone. Now, the Captivate is really cool. People have been telling me that you can set it to follow people while you're sleeping. So you pick some accounts, and just like we do, where we have an account that I go manually check and follow. You can have that account set, and they go in every minute and follow people. So it's 1 a minute. So again, it's 50 or 60 an hour, but they're doing it 1 at a time. And then the cleaner is the one that you can undo. Follower Insight, you do it all in one. It doesn't allow you, I haven't found one for Android that automatically does it for you like Captivate and Cleaner. But those are really awesome because you can mess around with which hashtags you want to follow and everything like that. But you want to find the followers that are engaged in commenting, interact with people. And so what I'm going to start now, because I really want it to start even growing faster, is I'm going to set a timer for like 15 or 20 minutes a day. And I'm going to go into my followers and I am going to like and comment on their stuff. Just like rotating through, because I want the interaction to keep going up. Or I'm going to pick a hashtag and then go and like and comment to that. But I want to spend 15 or 20 minutes a day doing that. So I think that's where it is. Now, once you're getting those people who are going to be checking you out, you need to really, really make sure that you're doing a minimum of 3 to 5 stories a day. Now, that should not be difficult if you are doing your workout, doing personal development, and drinking your shake and your meal plan. And then you talk about something else that you're doing to the day. So every single morning, I talk about my day, share my end of my last day. I share my workout. I share that I love my pre-workout. I don't say the names in them because I want them to reach out to me. I will talk about what my boys and I are doing during the day, and then explain like, okay, it's work time, they're napping, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I don't say I'm going to sit and invite people. I say I'm going to be reaching out to some ladies who are interested to see if they're interested in joining my next boot camp, or I'm going to be talking to people about this coaching opportunity. Kind of fluff it up a bit and make it so it doesn't sound, I'm inviting everybody to buy something from me. Like that doesn't sound super appealing, even though like it is, we're just talking to people, we're interacting with people. So that's what I do. I'll say, all right, now it's mom life, back to this. And you can just, it doesn't take very long to do it. Sometimes when we're out, I'll take 3 or 4 pictures and then use them later. When I'm making dinner, I'll take pictures and say dinner, 1 green, 1 red, 1 yellow. And then they're like, what are these greens, reds, and yellows? And that way we can have that interaction too and not explaining everything. And then also I work in like coach opportunity posts about my community. If you are not joining us in the morning or during your workout, you click on this link that you did today and you can join for workouts. I know there's people who start like all throughout the time, because when I get on at 5 a.m. Pacific, people are already on. And then when I get off at 6:15, new people are joining and people have left. But that is a really, really great way to jump on, because people need that community. Their biggest hang up about working out at home is because they don't want to do it alone. Well, if they see that they're logging into something like this and they have the community interaction, that attracts people. And that gives them that extra, you're not alone. And I started doing this before it got like popular for everybody. And it was mainly because I had a girl in my group who was like, I'm not waking up, I need to work out. And I was like, all right, we're waking up tomorrow at 5. I'll see you there. And we've been doing it for almost a year now. It'll be a year in April. And so she shows up every single day. And if she doesn't show up, I text her and I say, where are you? It's like, and if I don't show up, just say, what's wrong? Like, we know the other person's going to be there Monday through Friday. We have given each other permission to sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays. But other than that, we're there. So those are just a few things that I have done to grow my social media. And I just cannot emphasize enough to show up every single day, share your journey, and be energetic. Nobody wants to be like, yeah, today I got to work out again. I guess I'll eat broccoli. Like, be energetic. Like, talk about like how excited you are or how good you feel afterwards. I think that's usually better. Most of us are like, oh, but the only reason I work out is because of my Energize. Let's be real. I want to drink my Energize, so that is why I work out. And so I will share. I get to drink my Energize. So on Saturdays, I've started working out. I never used to, and now I do because it's an extra day of Energize, and I'm crazy. So I share about that. But just be energetic, and it's okay to have bad days. Like, I was crying on mine today, and I don't ever do that. But they need to see the real you. They need to see like, today is just not a day that I'm going to be inspiring you today because I'm drained. But that's okay. And tomorrow will be a better day. You know what I'm saying? Like, be real, be authentic, and they appreciate that. And I also connect to people better that way. Do you guys have any questions? You can unmute yourself if you would like. No. Can we connect on Teamsy? Oh, like you and me? What do you mean? Here, I'm gonna need you to talk. What do you mean?
Sorry, it's loud here.
Oh.
Yeah, connect and do like a shadow on Teamsy, because right now I am keeping track of everything like on my spreadsheet, like my highs, my all of that. And I'm to the point where I'm in the hundreds and it's overwhelming. So I want to see, is it going to be a good time to start investing?
Got it. Okay. Yes, I will talk to you about that. And I was really hesitant about investing in it because I didn't want to pay for something. And my husband said, "Is it worth $1 a day to be more organized?" And my power hour is so much more productive because it gives me the list of people I'm supposed to talk to today. And I don't miss people anymore because I set that reminder and it tells me. So yeah, I will meet with you on that. But all right. Well, if you think of any questions, oh, sorry. Yeah.
What you had mentioned, like the times and everything that you were talking about, was that off the Success Club tracker? Is that what you were sharing?
And that's why I'm saying, like, look, and they give you those times. It's an hour and a half. And so like if you look, I think it's no longer a power hour, it's like a power hour and a half. And so like for me, I usually try to do 1.5 of those a day or 2 of those a day. And so looking at those times, it really does, it really is good. So you could start if you use those times. And I wouldn't, a lot of us are like, well, I didn't get through my X amount of number of invites. I want you to focus on like, set that timer, stick to it, move on to the next thing, because I want you to get through all of the things. And then if you have more time, go back and add a few more of those things. But it's super, and on the stories, like they even give you a list of things that are like to talk about. Did you talk about this? Did you talk about that? So that tracker is amazing and will really help you be consistent on your social media to grow it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I will post the recording because I know several could not make it tonight. So I'm going to